What's going on, everyone? As you can tell, I'm not in my warehouse. I thought it was time to take a little trip, and I hopped a flight to Honolulu to check out the sites where one of my favorite TV shows is filmed. Did I say is? I should have said was filmed. Although there's a fantastic remake being filmed today, I want to see where the original was filmed, as he drove a far more classic car than his current day counterpart. But before we get off to see the sights, make sure to go on and smash the like button so that Navy Intel can keep losing its best Navy SEALs to being private eyes. Oh, wait, I mean private investigators, as Thomas Magnum never liked being called a private eye. How about that? The site-to-site teleporter works great. From the Honolulu airport to Robin's Nest, the home of Robin Masters, famous author and world-renowned playboy. Funny, for such an important character in 8 seasons, he never appeared. But with his wealth, he did have a swanky estate in Hawaii called Robin's Nest. Though, to be honest, I think this Robin's Nest in the new series is way, way better than the one from the original series. Another thing that Robin's wealth afforded him was a few really fun toys to play with, like a fancy Italian sports car with Hawaii license plate Robin 1. Yes, the new Magnum P.I. has a fancy Italian sports car, a 2018 Ferrari 488 Spider, but it just doesn't have the charm of the 308 GTS. After all, the 308 GTS was the last true Ferrari, and I'll explain that later. Another thing Robin's wealth afforded him was a major domo named Higgins, and to support a private security consultant named Thomas Magnum. Of course, Robin owed Magnum, as Robin would probably have been a nobody had it not been for his prior association with Thomas Magnum. After all, Magnum and his exploits were the inspiration for his books and star characters. Thomas Magnum used the training he learned in the Navy to solve cases in civilian life. He was very good at his job, even though all of his friends thought he was a lazy mooch. I'm sure that Robin Masters didn't have that opinion of Magnum, but even if he did, it wouldn't have mattered, as how valuable his relationship with Magnum was for his books, much to the chagrin of Higgins. Unfortunately for Magnum, Higgins doesn't understand this relationship, so it leads to constant strife about everything, including the real star of the show, the fancy Italian with classic lines. Robin's toy was a gift for Thomas to drive around the city. Of course, a red Ferrari is not exactly inconspicuous for a stakeout or tailing a suspect, but it is fast enough to get away. During the 8 years of the show, the car was actually recast 3 times. The opening credits introduced the 1979 Ferrari 308 GTS and created an icon. The show debuted in 1980, which meant filming probably began before the 1980 model year was released. The 1979 Ferrari 308, while it was the first, was also the least powerful version used in the show. It was a carbureted 3-liter V8 engine with only 214 horsepower. What it lacked in power, it made up for in styling. The little 2-seater had a target top for those perfect sunny days in Hawaii, with easy roof panel storage behind the seat for when those pop-up rain showers that occur often in tropical paradise. With Robin's wealth, it only makes sense that he would trade in his little Italian toy regularly. So it's no surprise that a 1981 fuel-injected model replaced the 79. The fuel injection gave it a bit of a boost in power, but it wasn't till Ferrari changed the sports car game with the release of a 4-valve per cylinder quattro valve in 1982 did Magnum get the most powerful 308 built. Oh wait, he didn't get one in 1982. It wasn't until 1984 that Robin traded up for the 255 horsepower 308 GTS QV. Finally, Magnum has the styling and the horsepower. Thanks to Magnum P.I., the Ferrari 308 GTS is the most famous 80s Ferrari and possibly one of the most famous Ferraris of all time. Now, let's head on to my rock quarry and talk about a 1/18 scale diecast replica of this famous Ferrari. And here we go, guys. This is the Model Car Group 1/18 scale diecast 1979 Ferrari 308 GTS. It has a different license plate, but it is the same car that Thomas Magnum drove. Comes in a nice window box with a plastic window and nice cardboard packaging. It's also mounted on a display base inside. Item number is MCG 18169. It's to represent the 1977 to 1980 model years of the 308 GTS. And there's the rest of the bottom, distributed by Spliedel Replicars of Germany. Out of the packaging, which is typical of 1/18 scale cars, they have this nice cardboard piece here, which gives a nice background inside, and it holds up the box, gives more structural stability to the box. And then you can see the hard plastic base. It has Ferrari 308 GTS tampoed on the base. The car is just attached with 4 Phillips head screws. Real easy to take off the base, but make sure you hold the car steady so you don't break it when you take it off the base. There it is, out of the package. Isn't that beautiful? It's a nice, hard die-cast body, plenty of weight to this car because you can feel the weight of the die-cast. It has hard ABS plastic windows and some other hard ABS plastic accessory parts like the bumper, the mirrors. The interior is hard ABS plastic, and you can see the 2 nice seats. This does have the removable targa top version. They did not include a targa top with it, so you can't close this thing up, but it still looks pretty cool the way it is. And let's face it, Magnum almost always drove it with the top down. It has the Ferrari logo on the steering wheel and the beautiful, beautiful Ferrari dash with all the gauges inside. That is probably not going to be able to be picked up by the camera, but it is in there. You can see the gear shift on the floor, and it has the e-brake lever hanging there. There are pedals down there on the floor, and this car, you did kind of sit a little bit of an angle to the pedals because of the wheel well location. Did make it awkward probably to drive. Mirrors have a mirror piece on the back of them, so it does look like they're kind of mirrored. It's just a, well, it's like an aluminum tape that's real shiny and reflective. It has the rear view mirror up under hanging inside, but there is no mirror on it. It's just black plastic hanging down. There's the visors that would fold down, but they don't really fold down. That's okay. Door handle is molded in right here and then tampoed black. Key lock is tampoed silver, and then it says body by Pininfarina right there, which these really were. Classic Ferrari 5-spoke wheels with a little bit bigger wheel in the rear than in the front, which was standard. Ferrari logo on the center caps, and really nice rubber tread pattern on the tires. Now, they do feel like actual soft rubber on these. So these are a nice soft rubber tire sitting on the wheels, and I'm sure that those wheels are ABS plastic. They actually could be resin and painted. They didn't chrome plate them, and I'm kind of glad they did because the originals were aluminum, not chrome. It has 308 GTS, scale 1/18, made in China, cast into the base of the body. And the back, you can see the transaxle drive, bottom of the engine, and then you can see the muffler and the exhaust. Kind of cool with the twin tips coming out on each end of the muffler. That's actually a pretty cool look. Also, you can see the bottom of the wishbone rear suspension, not much in the front. Now note, no steerable axle. It doesn't steer. That's okay. These are meant just to sit on a shelf anyway. Around on the front here, you can see they used a European style license bracket, but being a German company, that makes sense, and an Italian car. Headlights are up here. They would be the pop-up style, but they don't pop up, sealed down. The Ferrari logo right there. And then down here on the front, you have the grille. You have two little driving lights that are clear, and then two turn signal marker lights, which are amber. They're one piece, but they're individual jewel style, and then they painted the two outer pieces with a clear Tamiya paint for amber turn lenses. Then you can see the grille down here, and then the little grille area there for the radiator, because the radiator was right up here, and then the spare tire mounted right there. Really, really compact design with the mid-engine. I'd imagine this front end was just a little bit light, but Ferrari claimed to have 50-50 weight ratio, so maybe they added a little extra weight up here to compensate. Passenger side, key lock in the door. There's your air intake scoop on the door, and there's one on the driver's side. Mirror here, and then there's a little marker, side marker light there. This was also the era where they had the little body molding that went around. Kind of, I don't know whether it was great or not. I actually kind of like it. I think it was cool. It broke up the sides of the cars, and it's gone by the wayside, so that's nice. Then you have some little, like grill-like air intakes to make it look like air intakes. I'm not sure if they really were, but that's what they were on the real car. They did a great representation. Now on the back here, the Ferrari, which is mounted on the lid, the Ferrari logo, which, by the way, they actually didn't quite get it centered. It should have been over just a little bit, but close enough. This is a photo etch part and then glued down. This is where I actually like photo etch, because it's a photo etch piece that's being mounted on a big solid piece. It stays put, and it can actually make the logos look more realistic, because the real ones were, a piece that was added on. Instead of, they were a metal piece that was added on, so it looks realistic. They also did the same thing with the prancing horse, the Ferrari logo, and the 308 GTS over here is a tampo. The horse is photo etched. License plate brackets are also photo etched metal, painted black with the white lettering and the white ring. Now, Ferrari loved the round taillights. Got some red ones in the center, and then you're at your centers, which would be your backup lights, and then your turn signals there are amber. They just painted that silver, and then they used the clear Tamiya to paint them orange or red, depending on which one they are. Then down here you can see they tampoed a little bit of black on the tips of each of the exhaust pipes, so that you would have a nice look like they're hollow. The big rubber bumper back here, classic of the 308. Beautiful, and also very classic of the era, was to put a rubber bumper cover over the bumpers. Really cool. I kind of like that. The modern cars, the bumpers are all integrated, but back then they were still part of the outside. Same thing on the front. Now going up high a little bit, it has ABS windshield wipers that are mounted right there on top of the window. They don't wipe, but they're right there. Really cool. You can see the defrost vents on the dashboard, top of the dash, and all the rest of the interior. And then back here you have the grill area over top of the engine so that the heat could radiate out. Really, really, really nice design and a beautiful car. And if you're looking to invest in a Ferrari, the 308 GTS is the next Ferrari that is going to be huge when it comes in value. Right now they're a great bargain, so I'd be interested in buying a real one just for the investment value. And here we go, guys. This is the 1977 to 1980 version of the Ferrari 308 GTS. made famous in the TV show Magnum P.I. with Tom Selleck back in the 1980s. It is a 1/18 scale diecast model made by Model Car Group of Germany. Coming to Hawaii may have been a big mistake. After being here, I don't think I want to go back home. So, if there are no more videos, send my mail to Waikiki Beach. Seriously though, it is paradise here, but wow, is it expensive! I could deal with the tropical landscape and never being very far from the beach and mountains, but I don't think I would like to live with the expense of living here. So I'll head on home soon. Anyway, I do have a few of these Ferrari 308 GTSs available on my website for you to order. And there's a link down in the description below so you can get one while they last. This way, you can relive the most iconic Hollywood star from the 1980s. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please go on and smash the like button, share this video with your followers, and subscribe to my channel. I'm Logan, the 64 the Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'll be back on the mainland soon with some videos on DCP trucks and other really cool diecast models.